That's so funny. This meeting is being recorded. Do you guys have to press continue on your screens when it does that? It's so weird. What are you going to do? Leave because it's being recorded? I hope not. Okay, let me let someone else in. Okay, so I don't know how long this will go tonight, and I know I say that often, but I don't have a PowerPoint tonight because I just like am really feeling. Hi, Katie. She's connected. Hi, Katie. Thanks for being here. I'm feeling really passionate about the last half of the year. So I want us to end June really strong, and there's a way that we're going to try to help everybody do that. But then we go into July and the rest of the year. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't like the way the first half of the year went in my business. And as I have progressed in being an entrepreneur and a business owner and all those things, I'm really obsessed with lately learning how to audit my business better and be more intentional with it and have more of a hand on it. And that means knowing your numbers more. And one of the really big things is having a plan, right? If Amanda, if you didn't have a plan for your wedding, how do you think it would have gone? Right? Imagine having a wedding without a plan. Imagine a ship taking off. This was one of the things, the strangest secret he talks about. Imagine if people got into a ship and there wasn't a captain to direct the ship. It may not even get off the port, right? But 99.9% of the time, the ship gets to where it's supposed to go because it's routed into the system. It has a plan of exactly where it's supposed to go and where it lands in the meantime. And we should treat this with that same kind of accord, having a plan, knowing where we're going. And part of that too is, again, when we talk about setting the goal, it's not always about the goal, but it's who we become in the process. It's about stretching ourselves so much that we now believe that bigger goals are available to us and that we can stretch ourselves. And now we're this person that we weren't before that knows how to go after the goals because we've become more than who we were. So that's why last Monday when we talked about the traits, right? I don't know how many of you did that. I know Crystal did it. I did it as well, and I'm anxious to share that with you guys. But first of all, let's just do some little housekeeping. Remember that there's Tuesday and Thursday presentations. There was also one that I was just watching. I know a couple other people from our team are probably still on that. Rob and Summer Smollett did the training on Saturday morning for LVA. Phenomenal training. And what I loved about them is they are all heart, all heart. Like all they tune into is their story. It is their story of where life was before, finding LifeVantage, and where life is now. Like that really is all it is. And they do a presentation every Monday night. And I plugged into it to see what it was. And you guys, he uses no PowerPoint. There were over 230 people on there. And it's just him telling his story. It's just this guy that used to own 11 businesses that is talking about why he does this now and what he saw in it that was so great. And it wouldn't be a presentation that's for everybody, but I think just to plug into it and just see his passion behind it could teach you a lot, because it's so easy for us to overthink this and want to be perfect at it. Or maybe we're, without thinking about it, we're wanting to act and be like someone else when all you need is your story. And then you'll attract the people that you're supposed to attract. But that being said, tomorrow night will be Erica Dale. She owned a business. She is a health nut, nutrition nut, has had her own gym. So that will be on the LifeVantage page for the public. And then Thursday night, that presentation, I'm not sure who will be doing that. So we'll make sure we get that out. Also, we haven't promoted it a ton, but LifeVantage every Wednesday in the official LifeVantage distributor page, they have what's called Activate Wednesday. So when they do that, it's essentially like a power hour, I guess. But I don't know if you knew, but in your app under promotions, they had the schedule for Activate Wednesday. Well, if you click on the report for Activate Wednesday, what it's allowing you to do is to send a message to a lot of people. And some of them are like they maybe haven't ordered in like 2 months. It's not people that are 6 months or older, but you get to give them $10 off an order of Protandim. And then they can add other things to that cart, but it's $10 off Protandim. And that's called Activate Wednesday. So what we're going to do is a power hour this Wednesday and next Wednesday. Marisa will do it this Wednesday. I'll do it next Wednesday. 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, 11 Central, 12 Eastern. Okay. And we will do it based around that part of the app, Activate Wednesday, helping you send out that $10 coupon code to the people that the report has lined up for you. And if you don't have anybody in your app, or maybe there's not a lot of people listed in there, we'll use the power hour just to maybe put new contacts in, create your list, whatever it might be. But that's starting this Wednesday. Also with lemonade, we got our lemonade today. How many people have their lemonade on the Zoom right now? Okay, Amanda, do you love it? Yes. Okay, we got ours and we love it. I was just saying I'm drinking it with my daily wellness right now and it's so good. Kyle had it straight up and then he had it with strawberry as well. So when I came home, I got to try the strawberry lemonade and it tastes just like strawberry lemonade. Like it's amazing what they did. So there is 75% as of this morning of lemonade still left because they ordered an abundant amount of it, which is great. So make sure that you leave no stone unturned with telling people about Lemonade Axio, okay? Make sure everyone you know knows. Let them decide for themselves. After I tried it today, just that excitement I had, like I left so many voice messages for people through whether it was Facebook Messenger or through text, just saying, look, we got this. I tried it. It was so good. If I knew they had kids, I talk about them using it for their kids, whatever it was. I just let them know how good it was. And then I would offer them $10 off if they were a new customer, if they wanted to finally place their order. And do you guys know how to do that? If you're going to offer that $10 off coupon, so to speak, do you know what we mean when we say that? Okay, so what you can do is in your app, you can go to, let's say you have a customer currently that you've had for quite a while, or there's somebody ordering products that you would like to gift $10 off. You can go to the app and I could type in like, I'll go to my customer list, type in Kyle's name, and right under his name, there's going to be a link for his friends and family code. So I'm going to use Kyle's link if I want to gift him $10 off, and I'm going to send my new customer that link. And I can also put the Lemonade Axio already in the cart. And then I'll send them that link. So they'll check out with the Lemonade Axio and get the $10 off when they check out. So now Kyle's gotten his $10 off as a new customer or the new person. And then Kyle's going to be credited $10 because I shared his link. So then what I do is I'll message Kyle and say, hey, I just had a friend that just ordered something. I wanted to gift you $10 off on your next order. So I used your friends and family discount code. And people love when you do that. Does that make sense? Okay. That's where you get the $10 off that you can offer. So it's the easiest place is in the app right under your customer's name. Works out really well that way. So yeah, so Lemonade, make sure you spread the word on that. Okay, last month, Jen Dykstra and Crystal were a part of this. So was Christy Spaniel. And I hope that you guys loved it. Maybe you could speak to it a little bit, but we did what's called a 7-day wrap party at the end of the month. This is something that Fraser Brooks talks about in one of his trainings. And sometimes what it's used for is if like somebody's going after a big rank advancement, you can use this 7-day wrap party as a way to help that team member go after their rank advancement. What we're going to do it again this month, but we're joining forces with other leaders in the POSE organization. So what happens is we will have a Facebook Messenger group and it will start Thursday morning. We're going to start adding people now. And it will end, it will end on June 30th. It's only for 7 days. And when it's done, it's done. It's not a continued group. We don't use it for anything else. It's strictly for 7 days. But there are ground rules to be a part of the group. And one of them is when you come in, you have to make sure that you share the goal that you have for the end of the month and then what you're going to do if you hit that goal. For instance, let's say somebody wants to still hit Performance Club, right? They're still looking for 2 new customers and to get that 100 PV. And if you make it, you are going to take your kids for ice cream. It could be something that simple, right? It could be, I'm going to add 10 new names to the app by the end of the month. Maybe that's your goal. And if you hit it, you're going to go get a manicure. Whatever it is, you have to share your goal and what you'll do if you hit it when you're in this group. And then the other 2 rules are that you share your activity along the way. If you got a new customer, you tell people. If you did a live, you tell people. And then the third rule is you celebrate. You just celebrate other people's successes. So it's going to be a lot of fun by having Crossline in there with us. I don't know, Crystal or Jen, if you want to speak to kind of what you liked about last month. Hopefully you liked it in some way, but I think it just creates really good accountability. Crystal, do you want to mention maybe what you liked about it?
Yeah, I liked that. Yeah, I was accountable. Like I had people. I was like, oh, I don't want to disappoint anybody. I better do my stuff. So that was like the big thing for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I think too. It just is great accountability, and it's a great way to stretch yourself too, guys. Yeah, no worries, Jen. Thanks for being here. And hi, Tiffany. Thanks for being here, sweetie. So good to see you. But yeah, it is great accountability, you guys. And I know it can be uncomfortable putting yourself out there and sharing a goal, especially when you may feel like maybe it's a small goal, but showing up is a success. Sharing a goal you have, that's a success. Like those are things to celebrate. So I highly recommend, if you feel like you can stick to those ground rules, being a part of that wrap party. I did make a post today in Team Act, and I'll make sure too that I look at Amanda, Jen, awesome. You guys are in. So if you want to be in, please let me know and I'll get you added to that. I think there'll be great camaraderie in that. Also the app challenge, I wanted to speak to that. If you guys, I got you, Katie. If you guys are currently doing the app challenge, and you're feeling maybe, I heard from someone this weekend that they were doing the app challenge and they kind of felt like their team was kind of lagging a little bit. My advice to you in that is, then don't focus on what everybody else is doing. Only focus on your activity. Be the one that leads by example, right? Don't worry about someone registered for something, someone hasn't done their part. All you need to focus on is what you are doing. And if your team doesn't have like the grit that you'd like, or maybe the excitement that you wish it had, create it. That's what I have to say. Lead the way and create it. So that's with the app challenge. July Elite Academy, please make sure you're registered for that. We just did on the pose training a half hour ago, talked about showing up and getting to events. July Elite Academy is going to have some major announcements, and I would also recommend that in your area, bring people together. We got a hotel room here in this area because we just felt like having a hotel room is going to make it feel like the old days, like bringing people together again. But really try to find a way that you can gather people together if possible. There are already over 2,500 people registered for July Elite Academy. So that means that convention in October will sell out. So do not wait to get your ticket. The Pose are going to have a huge party. DJ Rankin is going to be at that party. Michelle always gets like corporate staff there. So they want to have a party just for our organization in Salt Lake City in October. So do not wait on that ticket. I believe they go up at the end of this month. Okay, Vitality Living. No, there are not hotels that have been posted yet, but I know that they're in the works on that, and a lot of people are asking. So hopefully we'll hear on hotels soon, so we can see like where they have blocks of rooms, so we can get those discounts. Vitality Living, I am in charge of that this week, so I would love your help with that as a team. I would love for you guys just to go back and post your stories again. And if you maybe don't have your own personal story, maybe your child or a spouse, but I would love for you guys just to, not everybody at one time, but we do have responsibility for the whole week. So I think it'd just be great practice to go back and funnel in on your story again and have it ready to go. And we can post that in Vitality Living. Plus, it's really good for your people that you've added to Vitality Living to see you posting in there and see your stories. So please think about that. Okay, so the 3 words, we talked about this last week, and this was based on a training that Bob Heilig did that I also posted. And he talked about finding 3 words, 3 characteristic traits that you wanted to exude and basically live by in the last half of the year. And those would be like your 3 guiding words that every single day, living by those would make sure that you became who you wanted to become to meet the goal that you wanted to meet. And there was a list that I had posted that you could pick 10 to 12 to begin with, just words that stuck out to you, and then narrow it down to 2 to 3 or 4 that would become your words. And then you would put those on a note card and always have those with you. So Crystal, I know that you did that. I would love to hear, have you share with everybody the 3 words that you chose and maybe how it's affected you since you did that exercise.
Oh, maybe you shouldn't ask me.
Just, it's okay. It's okay.
Well, my words were confident, joyful, and full of purpose. And I'm gonna be honest, like it's not been going well for me. For me, I feel like it's like when I have an assignment, I want to rebel against it, and so I have been, I think, opposite this week, but I'm working on it.
That's interesting.
I gotta work more. Yeah, I don't know what is up with me lately, but I'm struggling. So I don't know.
Did you write them down on anything?
Yeah, I have them on my reminders. I have reminders set, and I look at it every day, and I'm like, I'm gonna do this, and then like something happens at work, and I'm like, I want to kill everyone. So it's, I don't know. I'm sorry.
No, I think it's interesting, right? When we put ourselves out there and we are bold and step out, and like you basically made a proclamation that those were going to be your words. And then what happens? It's almost like the enemy is trying to find a way to make sure that you can't live by that, right? And that's when you just kind of have to have the virtue of, like I will choose to live by these today. And reminding yourself that every morning so that the positive voice and the good voice becomes the louder voice than the one that's like, I want to kill everybody today, you know? It's just, it takes practice.
Yeah, I need more practice for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, and the one thing I wrote down too, guys, when we were thinking about the 3 words is, like when I think about how much I want to have happen in the last 6 months of the year, or what you want to have happen in your business, have you shared it with your family? Have you shared it with your significant other? Have you shared it with the people around you? Because if we are not sharing it with other people, or we're not proclaiming it in some way, or we're not creating a plan, then how badly do we really want it, right? And my other fear is that maybe you know what you want to have happen in this business, but there is a fear in you of, what if it means I have to work harder? And I don't know if I want to work harder because life is kind of comfortable and okay at this point. And I don't want to stir the pot and really have to work harder and put up with people. Right? I've been there. But here's the thing. What if that's not at all how it's going to look like? What if instead you saying that you want to reach a certain rank or make a certain amount of income by the end of the month for you and your family? What if instead it looks like tons of fun, so much enjoyment, so much excitement because you've brought in these people that are just bringing a newfound life to you. And all of a sudden, because they're so ready to go, you've gained all these new friendships of people that you would have known had that one person not said yes. What if it looks completely the opposite of what you think it'll really look like? And because you're holding on to the fact that you might have to work harder, you're not really putting yourself out there and giving it all that you can. really think about that because I guarantee you it doesn't look like what you think it does. Because every time that I have like stepped back and things aren't going the way that I want them to, it's always because I'm not giving it my all and I'm in my head, right? In your head, you're dead. But when I decide to go back and go all in and then things start happening, it brings me nothing but joy. Like it's so much fun. It gives you this life. It kind of ignites your battery all over again. And then you're so excited about it, right? So just really make sure that your focus is not in the wrong place because I don't want you holding yourself back from being in that place like Bob talks about where we make our goals at the beginning of the year and then the year goes by and we're at the same place beginning of the year next year and we're at the same place that we were the year before. Like that's a horrible cycle to be in. So let's make sure that we don't do that to ourselves. Katie, 3 words: confident, connected, and compassionate. Being open to experiencing joy most of the time or even all the time. I love it. Those are good. Confident, connected, and compassionate. So good. Make sure you write those down. Those are really, really good. I'm going to share with you guys quickly what mine is. And I got this from someone that I met. But when she said it, I was having an open conversation with her. She's in another company and very successful. Kyle and I had dinner with her and her husband because she brought her husband home as well. And we wanted our husbands to connect and kind of share stories of what they're going through. But she had done basically the same exercise. And I basically came out with something very similar to what she did, but she told me about a time when she was at an event and there was this woman that had reached like the top ranks very, very quickly. And Dana basically was congratulating her and like in awe of her and telling her how amazing it was that she did that. And Dana was basically saying, you know, I only wish I could have done that, you know, kind of like putting herself down in the midst of congratulating the other person. And the woman looked at her and she was like, she said something like, well, it's just too bad you don't have the grit that I have then to get where I went, something like that. And it's not like she said it condescendingly, but almost in a way of, girl, you've got it in you. Just find your grit. And she's like, she goes, I didn't know how to feel. Like I was offended in a little way, but also like, oh my gosh, like it motivated her and it made her question, like, how much was she really trying to get where she wanted to go? So that's what I chose is for my 4 words. It's like an acronym is grit. So I put on a note card, I have been listening to The Strangest Secret. So if you've been in Performance Club, at the beginning of every month, Michelle posts The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. And I am committing to listening to it every day for the next 30 days. This would be something fun to do as well, like in a Facebook Messenger group if we wanted to do it. But I don't know. If you want to do it, I'll surely do it with you. But I listened to it over the weekend. And then last night, I even listened to it and I took notes on it. Because when I sit and I take notes on something, I really retain it. Because sometimes if I'm just listening, my mind will veer off and I just really wanted to hear it. So I looked up the 30-minute version on YouTube and I listened to that. And he has a 30-day challenge on there. And his 30-day challenge is to listen to it often, but also take a note card. And on the front of the card, you write down your goal. You write down your goal clearly and concisely as to what you want to have happen. So I wrote down my goal for December 31st, 2021, what I want to have happen and what it's going to feel like. And then on top of it, right at the top, I put, I will pursue my goal with grit. And the grit is G is for grow, always growing, personally and in my business, being resilient, like really stretching myself and not letting things hold me back, but just having resilience in what I do, integrity, showing up and doing what I say I'm going to do, and then tenacity. And that tenacity is kind of like almost like a screw you. I'm going to show you, like I'm going to do it. So grit is what I chose. And then on the back of the card, he said, you write, ask and it shall be given, seek and ye shall find, knock and it shall be open to you. So he says this in the strangest secret. And he says, put it on a card. And I wrote on a card, and I will probably make a lot of these cards because I'd like to have one in my bathroom, on my nightstand, in my purse, on my desk here. I'll probably make a few of them. But you guys, I want us to have more, but I don't want us to have more to feel better. I want us to feel good now. I want you to believe in yourself now. I want you to be whole now. But along with that, imagine if you can feel that way and then get where you want to go. Imagine how good that will feel, right? Because I know all of us on this Zoom, we're not in this place to stay here. How many of you would be really happy just staying stuck where we are right now? We just wouldn't, right? And that's not what this business is about. This business is about growing yourself so much more. And I know every single one of you have it in you. Like, I'm so proud of you for showing up, right? I'm so glad that you're here. But I just want it so bad for everybody. I want the second half of this year to be just beyond your wildest dreams, because every day you choose and you commit to show up, living by your 3 words, trusting, letting go of the results, but again, knowing exactly where you want to go. Again, don't be the sock puppet, just going along the journey, or the guy that doesn't have his hands on the steering wheel and is just going to see where the car ends up. Like, put your hands on the steering wheel and figure out what you need to do to get where you want to go. And if that means you need to bring in more people, then let your focus be on bringing in new people, right? Maybe it means you start talking more about business than you do products, right? If it means that you want to get a great customer base to get to maybe Pro 2, then focus on the products, focus on your messaging. But you have to make sure that there's a plan when you do that so that you're showing up the way that you want to. Make sense? And if you want to bring in new team members, knowing who you're looking for, that's a big piece of it as well. And we've talked about that. Knowing that avatar, we had that training. There's a lot of stuff that you can do, and I know it takes time. And then you can have feelings of FOMO that you're not doing like the action. But sometimes if it takes like taking a couple days to get your words, figure out your game plan, knowing your avatar, allow yourself the time to do that, because then it will make your action that more funneled in. And then your action won't have to take as long because you have a plan and you know exactly what you need to do, instead of spending a whole night spinning your wheels taking action when it really didn't get you anywhere, right? We've all been there. Yeah, funnel in on it and know where you're going. Okay, does anybody have any questions? I told you, I don't know how long it's gonna go, and then I go 30 minutes. It never fails. Never fails. Okay, stop recording. Thanks for watching.